Hello, welcome back to LK Tuition. My name's Lucas and today we're going to look at expressing amounts as percentages. Hope you're good and let's get cracking. Alright then, so just a quick reminder, we have done this in a previous video, so feel free to check out fractions, decimal and percentage conversions in a different video. But this is just to remind you some of the common ones, and we're going to be looking at basically fractions to percentages. So just to remind you that half is equivalent to 50%. A third is equivalent to 33.3 recurring percent. A quarter or a fourth is equivalent to 25%. A fifth is equivalent to 20%. An eighth is equivalent to 12.5%. A tenth is equivalent to 10%. And 1 out of 20 or a 20th is equivalent to 5%. And we're going to be able to use them and kind of multiples of them to figure out percentages of an amount. Okay then, so let's just have a look at expressing an amount as a percentage. So without a calculator, we can use those common fraction and percentage conversions to work out what something is as a percentage. So for instance, I don't know if you had something like 3 out of 4 people in a class are left-handed. You think, right, okay, well, I know that 1 out of 4 is 25%. So for 3 out of 4, I just can times it by 3 and then I'd get 75%. Okay, so if your fraction isn't one you're familiar working with, can you multiply or divide both numbers in the fraction so that your denominator is something you're more comfortable with? So for example, you might get something like 18 out of 30. So for instance, I don't know, 18 out of 30 kids in a class in Wales can speak Welsh. Now you think, well, I don't know what 1 out of 30 is, but if I divide the top and the bottom by 3, the fraction will stay the same, but then it will be out of 10, which is something I know about. So if we simplify that, it can be simplified to 6 out of 10. And then since we know that 1 out of 10 is 10%, then 6 out of 10 is going to be 6 lots of 10%, which is 60%. So you can kind of manipulate your fractions to being, have the denominator something that you're more familiar with and better working with. All right then, so let's just have a go at a few questions. Feel free to have a go yourself, otherwise we'll do it together. All right then, so first of all, we want to write 5 as a percentage of 10. So if we write this as a fraction first, that's just 5, let's use a different colour, 5 out of 10. Well, that can be simplified to, well, that's the same as a half. And we know that a half is 50%. All right, next one, we want to write 11 out of 200 as a percentage. So 11 out of 200. Now the other thing is percent literally means out of 100. Yeah, so 100% is the whole thing. So if you can get the bottom of your fraction to be 100, whatever's on top is going to be your percentage. So the fact that we've got 11 over 200, I can just divide the top and bottom by 2 and it's going to be out of 100. So half of 11 is 5.5 and half of 200 is 100. So 5.5 out of 100, well, that's going to be 5.5%. Number 7, I don't know why have they started at 5? Anyway, number 7, write 7 as a percentage of 40. Right, okay, so this is going to be 7 out of 40. So there's a few things we could do here. Now we could make it out of 10 and then build it up to 100. Or, I'll tell you what, let's make it out of 20 because we know that that's a fifth. So if we halve the top and bottom, we're going to get 3.5 out of 20. And we know that that is 1/5. So if we times them by 5, it's going to be out of 100. So this is going to be, let's just write what we're doing a bit here. So here, we've divided it by 2. And now we'll times it by 5 so that it's out of 100. Okay, and then I was using purple. So 3.5 times 5 is going to be 17.5, I think. And that's going to be out of 100. So that is 17.5%. Let me just double check that's right. 3 times 5 is 15. 0.5 times 5 is 2.5. Yeah, all right, happy with that. Alright, and then finally then, we want to write 1,000 as a percentage of 1,600. Okay, so we want 1,000 over 1,600. Okay, so there's a little bit going on here. So let's just simplify this. So we can definitely divide the top and bottom by 100. Get rid of those two zeros. So that's going to be 10 over 16. And then we can halve the top and bottom, and that's going to give us 5 over 8. Now we know that 1 over 8 is 12.5. So 5 over 8, if you times it by 5, you're going to get 62.5%. Okay. Then, so let's just have a look at a couple of worded examples. Again, feel free to pause the video and try them yourself. Otherwise, we'll just have a crack at it together. Alright, so number 1, for every 50 fans at an ice hockey match between Belfast and Cardiff, 20 of the fans support Cardiff. And part A says, what percentage of the fans support Cardiff? Okay, well we know out of 50, 20 support Cardiff, so 20 out of 50. And that as well, because it's out of 50, you think, well, to get 100, I'll just double it. So that's the same as 40 out of 100, which is 40%. Okay, and then part B, it says that 850 fans attended the match. How many Cardiff fans attended? Well, we know that 40% of them are Cardiff fans, so we want 40% of 850. Well, let's find 10% first, because that's an easy one. We can just divide by 10. So 10% of 850 is 85. And then so 40% of 850 is just going to be 4 lots of 10%. So this is 4 times 85, which is going to be 340, I think. Let me just double check that. 85, 170, yeah, 340. Okay. All right, and then one final question to have a go at. So it says here, Hannah scored 60 out of 90 in a French test, 50 out of 80 in a drama test, 85 out of 130 in an art test, and 13 out of 20 in a maths test. Arrange the results of the test in order from the highest percentage to the lowest, percentage. Okay, so let's just do these as they are then. So let's start with French. So French we'll put as an F. So that is going to be, so that is 60 out of 90, which is the same as, if we divide top and bottom by 10, that's 6 out of 9. And then if we divide top and bottom by 3, we're going to get 2 over 3. And 2/3 is 66.6 recurring percent. So that is that's French. Now let's do drama. So we'll put D for drama. So that's 50 out of 80, which again we can divide top and bottom by 10, 5 out of 8. And we did this before, didn't we? This was 62.5%. All right, next one we've got art. So art is 85 out of 130. So let's divide the top and bottom by 5. They're definitely in the 5 times table. How many 5s go into 85? I think it's 17. And how many 5s go into 130? I think it's 26. Is that right? 17 over 26? Yeah, I think so. But that is a bit of a horrible one to turn into a percentage, isn't it? 85 out of 130. I don't like the fact that we're trying this without a calculator. Is there anything better we can do with that apart from long division? Alright, we're going to do long division. Alright, so maybe this is a typo. I wouldn't expect you to get this kind of division in a foundation paper. I might be wrong, but let's just give it a go. So we want to do 17, put a few zeros in there, divided by 26. So how many 26 go into 17? 0. How many 26s go into 170? Well, at least, so 5 is 130, 156, so that is 6, remainder 14. then it's going to be 5, remainder 10. How many 26s go into 100? It's going to be 3. 26, 52, 78, 220, and then we'll just do one more and then we'll round it up. So 130, 182 is 7, 182, 208 is 6. So I believe it's that. So that to just one decimal place is going to be 65.4%. All right, so that was a bit of a smelly one. I don't think I'd expect you to be asked that in an actual exam without a calculator. And then finally, maths is 13 out of 20, which is a lot easier. So maths, 13 out of 20. So we just divide top and bottom by 5, and that's going to give you 65 out of 100, or 65%. So they wanted the results of the test in order from the highest percentage to the lowest percentage. So let's just write the letters then. So the highest was French, then it was art, then it was maths, and then it was drama. That's M for maths. And we'll leave it like that. All right, so I hope you found that useful, expressing amounts as percentages. This has been LK Tuition. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for some more maths videos.